What up? It's on a sick one to sobriety. My name is Rob, and I'm an alcoholic and drug addict. Now, I want to pick off exactly where I left yesterday, right? Well, kind of, I guess. I'm going to backtrack a little bit because I do want to talk about my experience. First time ever going to Vegas. It was a trip. So, all the signs in the world, right? Mother Nature was giving me all the signs for me not to go to Las Vegas, for me to stay my ass at the Anexo and go to work collecting carts at Walmart. But me, como yo soy rebelde, yo soy bien contreras a lo que me dice el pinche Mother Nature, a la verga, because I don't know how to say Mother Nature in Spanish. I was like, I'm going to Vegas. Fuck it. I mean, these guys went out of their way. I'm gonna name them OG and La Doña. This is what I'm gonna call them, right? But it was two people that were in the governing body with me of the next one. They went out of their way to fucking get a credit card. The OG fucking went around driving to different banks to see which one of his banks would instant print him a credit card. Like, it was nuts. Like, it was they wanted to go a well, and I was like, fuck it, we're gonna go. I guess we're going, right? So our plan, see, because the original people that were supposed to go with me, they ended up backing out for one way or another, right? And so the plan was for us to get to Vegas at nighttime around 9 or 10 p.m. at night. And we were supposed to just be on the sick one, was sober, but just be up there in the casino all night, because the next day at 11 a.m. is when all of us from the same anexo we were supposed to meet. I don't know, I forget what hotel it's called. We were supposed to meet at a hotel and get our rooms, because right there we had to connect with some senora that she was a part of the governing body of a rehab and AA stuff over there. And so that was the plan, right? But shit changed, and I really didn't have anything planned. And the OG and the Doña, they were like kind of depending on me to fucking like take control, and I don't know what the fuck I was doing. So we busted the fucking trip, right? I was like, fuck it. We took out driving. I remember what tripped me out is that I always trip out on a little weird shit like this. Is that we drove to Death Valley. That's where we pulled over to use the restroom. It was a pit stop. I did trip out too because this pit stop, right? Obviously, it's a lot of people get there, and in the men's restroom, it's just like a big old fountain. There's like no private. Usually on urinals they have that little door, little privacy sometimes, or you have like a foot of space in between each other where you could just like turn and you don't have to look at the other guy's junk. Here at this one, fucking, it was just a water fountain and everybody just stands next to each other and shit. I mean, it was whatever. It's just a bunch of dudes taking the leak, but it's still like I'm used to having privacy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm used to having a little bit of privacy. But that's not the part that tripped me out. The part that tripped me out was running into somebody, to the homie Mikey, that I fucking know. Like, out in the middle of nowhere, Death Valley, fucking like 7 o'clock at night. We're both going to Las Vegas. In Las Vegas, there was like a Mayweather fight happening or something, and I think that's where he was going. But it was just a trick because I haven't seen that fool in years, and I'm like, dude, how crazy it is. To me, it blows my mind that we were at the same place at the same time, and we both had to take a leak at the same place. Like, to me, that's tripped out, right? But anyways, that's not the point, right? So I remember, we stopped there and then we keep driving. We get to Vegas around 10, at 11 at night, and then, well, the plan was that I was supposed to be with the younger crew, and we were supposed to gamble all night. But I was with a little bit of older people, and they wanted to rest. And I was just like, fuck. They're like, yeah, we need to get a room, and they're like, handle it, and I was like, fuck, all right. I figured it out, and so we got to the Motel 8. There was a Motel 8. Looking like, it was cool because it was a cool spot. It was like right in front of the fucking is it the MGM Grand or Grand, or I don't know what the fuck it's called, the arena they have right, or the T-Mobile arena. I don't have no idea, whatever. But it was looking over to one of those arenas, and we went over there, and then only one bed and a couch, and I was just like, damn, how's this gonna work right here? You know, goddamn, I'm already cracking up before it starts. The maniaco starts fucking spinning in my head and shit, right? I'm like, dude, me and the OG are gonna fucking tag team this, don't you? It's gonna be a crazy night. And no, nothing like that happened. Doña was like, I'm gonna sleep on the couch. You fools sleeping on the bed. It's all good. I ain't tripping. And I was like, damn, here goes the opportunity. And me and the OG had to sleep ass to ass. It is what it is. We slept on the same bed. It's cool. And being in rehab, and so you get used to being around other dudes like that, like where you're sleeping like in close quarters. You know what I'm saying? Like in the room, in the anexo, when you're in the room, you guys are like cramped in there. In the cuarto de vecinos, in the neighbor's room, you're cramped in there. So sharing a bed ain't nothing. It won't be the first. Won't be the first time. Won't be the last time I share a bed with a guy. So we slept. No se hizo la mañacada. When the next day came through, we got ready and we bounced. And it was a crazy experience for me because I never really realized how fucked up people really are. Like they're the same level as fucked up as me in a different city, in a different state, hours and hours away from where I live. And these fools are on the sick one too, even worse than me, some of them. And I got to meet all the Mexican nationals that were living in Las Vegas, and it was cool. It was like a good experience. I remember we had a meeting that we had to go to. Like your boy got to get his study on. I started. They gave me the one of the steps is the 12 steps, and I had to fucking learn how to like talk about what it. I don't even remember right now. I'm all smoked out. I had to learn about like what to talk about, and I went up there and I talked like maybe like 10 minutes. I got straight to the point, and then after the meeting, everybody was giving me props. They're like, "Hey, fool, you got down, dog." But everything in Spanish. Hey, fool, you got down. Like, you explained the step right and this and that. Like, good job. I don't know if they were just like patting me on the back because I'm a dumbass or I really did a good job. I don't know. And so it felt good, right? And then we went to this house that's another annexo, another rehab that's doing the same shit, but in Vegas. I met everybody who was over there, and they had a big old fucking. It was a party. It was like a 1 year anniversary party. So they had a big ass like maratonica meeting. It was a marathon meeting that goes on all fucking night. It opens up at fucking 7 p.m. and it ends when it ends. And I remember going up there and just talking my shit and like, okay, I'm a change man. I'm a change man, and I'm all about honesty and positivity, and I'm never gonna go back to smoking meth again because I already know and this and they pura pinches pendejadas, the shit that people who are new love to say. And we got through that night. Se puso el convivio chingón, and we're grubbing, we're doing a little dance. Like it was cool. It was whatever. And I got to meet a lot of fucking alcohólicos and drogadictos out there, super chill people. But then it was time to come back to reality. I was like, fuck. And while we were out there those days, every single day I was calling into Walmart to call off. And the best thing about at that time was you could just call a hotline. You don't even have to talk to nobody. And I was just calling like, up sick, up sick. Got back, got fired. Like, fuck. All right, I'm fired. I started tripping. The panic starts coming in again. Like, fuck, I don't have no money. My bills are coming up. Like, I'm not being responsible. And like, dude, just like those, I'm sober. I'm not even tweaked out anymore. And look what the fuck is happening to me. Like, I'm like, I don't know. Fool. Like, I need to do something. I need to get some money. And but my first thought was go back to Home Depot and just post ups. Hopefully something will come through. And I was just like, something needs to happen. And I just started saying, I said, fuck it. What I really know is being a security guard. And I said, fuck it, I'm going to get into being a security guard again. And sure enough, I found a security company up in Vista. And they were willing to hire me the volada. Because, I've had a fucking, like, at that point, I had at least, like, 8 years of experience of being a security guard. So they didn't have no issues giving me a job, which was nice. So I came up on the jale. But it took me about 3 weeks to get that job. And on that third week, I was fucking stressing because I had $0 to my name. I did not know how I was going to fucking pay. And my one thing that I know that for sure I could do was run away. I could just bounce and leave and be homeless again or figure something out. But I ended up, según yo, doing the responsible thing, getting the job, coming back into having a paycheck, steady paycheck. So around this time, right, there's an anniversary for my group, for my annexo. I know yesterday I kind of like skipped around with some of the story, but so at this time it's we have to go give out invitations to different groups, right? Like personally hand them to the coordinator of a different AA meeting. And it's all Mexican AA meetings. There's nothing in English, nothing like it's all Spanish speaking because that's what it is, right? And so we're going to this fucking AA meeting. The homie lets me borrow his truck. One of the servers right there from the governing body. I do reverse. I reverse into the neighbor's truck. I fucking bounce. That's my instinct. My instinct is to run from any and every problem. I'm out of here. Boom. And I bounced, and my phone was blowing up. And then I was like on the other side of Escondido already, like catching the 15 South, and by Via Rancho Parkway, like I was ready to go down, like head back down south. And I just pulled over because the old school guy that was next to me, I told him, "Hey, for like answer," and like I could hear my padrino talking shit. I could hear my sponsor talking shit, and I was like, "Fuck!" So I pulled over and I started listening to the messages. One of the senoras from the house was like, "Hey, you need to come back to the house because they're gonna consider this a hit and run and this and that." And my padrino was like, "Hey, fool, don't be a fucking dumbass, fucking fat boy. Like, get back to the fucking house." And the guy, the owner of the truck, was like, "Hey, Pitchy Robert, you crashed my truck." I was like, "Wow, no, I was like." And I had to be honest. I had to grow some balls. And I had to confront, for my very first time in my life, I had to confront a problem face to face. Didn't want to. I was scared as fuck. But I had to do what I had to do. So I went and drove my ass back. Depressed as fuck. Just not knowing the consequences of anything that can happen is so fucked up in my head. I'm just like playing so many fucking scenarios, and the guy's truck that I hit, we know him as the fucking tweaker of the neighborhood because he's always out there on the sick one flying his helicopters all fucking night. And he's like always out there bumping, smoking cigarettes in his car like all fucking night. And so I was like, fuck, I gotta deal with this dude. I was like, I mean, at least I know how to deal with a tweaker to tweaker. And I pulled back up and I got off the car and he's like, "What's up, bro?" Like the tweaker guy tells me, he's like, "What's up, bro? Why'd you run?" But he was like, went on that, like trying to be funny. Like he was trying like to like, como se dice? Like make everything cool, like break the ice with me. Like, and I was like, oh, and now obviously, what do? Lie? Of course I'm gonna lie. I'm like, oh man, I didn't even know I hit you until these guys called me. And they're like, "Oh yeah," they try to tell me that you knew and you just took off. I was like, "Nah, I don't get down like that, fool. I'm a fucking feeder my ass about the homie, you know." And then fucking, he's like, "Hey, yeah," he's like, like the guy already gave me the car insurance or whatever. He's like, "Just let me get your license, and we'll switch information right here, and it's cool." And I was like, "All right, cool." I just gave him my driver's license, took a picture of it, and that was my first time dealing with something like that. Oh, actually, second time. I never spoke about the first one. And then I dealt with him, and then at the end, he fucking extended his hand and shook my hand. He was like, "Ah, it's all good, bro. Shit happens." And I was like, "Hell yeah, shit happens, bro." I was like, "Cool." I shook his hand. I went back to I crossed the street back to the next one with my head down. Like, ah. Now I'm in debt with the fucking owner of the car because this motherfucker doesn't have full coverage insurance. What kind of motherfucker doesn't have full coverage insurance? Like, come on, really? Like, dude, piss me off. So he's trying to tell me like, "Hey, Rob, you owe me $500 for the deductible," and I was like, "What the fuck am I gonna get $500 from?" He's like, "Yeah, they're charging me $3,500." He's like, "I'm gonna pay the 3,000, but he's like, I don't have 3,500, so you gotta pay me 500. I don't know how you're gonna do it, but you gotta do it." I was like, "Man, this motherfucker talking to me like he's some G." Like, come the fuck out of here, Mexican national. I don't want to say the actual word. Get the fuck out of here, fool. You ain't gonna tell me you'd pay nothing. And I tried to talk to my padrino, like, "Hey, fool, I can't pay this fool, dog. Like, I don't even have money for me." He's like, "No," he's like, "Just work it out, try to make payment plans." And sure, that's what I did. I made payment plans with this fool. I was like, "Hey, fool, look, la neta no tengo feria, güey. I don't got no money." I was like, I'm working. It's not even the best job ever, but this is how much I could afford every week. It's pretty much either take it or leave it. I didn't say that, right? But that's what I was thinking. And he's like, "Okay, cool, yeah." He's like, just make sure you keep your word. You pay me." And I was like, "Don't trip, dog. I got you." And if anybody from the VIA knows that when a tweaker from the VIA says, "Don't trip, I got you," that means you're gonna get burned. That's exactly what happened. So at this time, I'm fucking feeling depressed. I don't want to pay this fucking debt. I'm depressed because I crashed that fool's truck and I'm in debt. And that's like first world problems type of shit. You know what I mean? I'm not even in debt to a drug dealer anymore. I'm in debt to this motherfucker. And I don't want to pay him. And I'm like, because of that, I'm starting to dislike the group. I'm disliking the politics of the governing body from this group. I'm starting to see it that only like 3 or 4 people have all the say so, and they don't really let anybody talk like their shit. And if you want to say something, they'll shut you down. And it was just like real stupid shit, like little games. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm not liking this shit no more. I started seeing little things that I was like, I started picking at every little thing, and I'm like, nah, this was fucking up. This was fucking up. I was looking at everybody except me. Es más fácil mirar el culo a los demás. So I was just looking at everybody's faults except mine and shit. And then at this time, my homie was still in my messages like, "Hey, Big Rob, get your fat ass over here. Come to Minnesota. Come to St. Paul. I got a spot right here. You're gonna have your own room. Like, don't even trip. Like, I'll take care of you. I have a good job. I'll take care of you until you get your own job and you're back on your feet. And you like, don't even trip. It's all good." And I was loving the idea more and more. Like, hell yeah, I'm about to head over there. And one day I just said, "Fuck it." Seriously, like someday I said, "Fuck it, what do I got to lose? I don't have nothing here. I'm in debt right here. I'm not loving it here. I do want to leave the rehab. I want to leave that next one, but I can't afford to live on my own. I can't afford to rent a room somewhere. And over there in fucking St. Paul, Minnesota, there's a room waiting for me. And the only thing that tripped me out is because it was my homie that I used to live with in TJ, so I knew he was an active user and an active drinker. But he swore to me up and down that he wasn't drinking, that he wasn't using, and I was like, cool. Like, I believed him. I believed him. He fucking convinced me, and I was like, all right. I was like, I'm gonna pull the trigger, dog. I'm down. Let's roll. And sure enough, he's like, okay, are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Boom. Like within 2 days, sent me my information for the airplane tickets. I was like, oh fuck, this shit is real. I was like, fuck it, I'm leaving. And I remember just deciding to tell my two friends, was the doña that I talked about earlier, and one of my other homies that was there with me. We ended up being like cool. And I told him, yeah, guys, I'm leaving. I'm going to fucking take off to St. Paul, Minnesota, and you guys never going to see me again. I'm never coming back. Never coming back. And they're like, oh, man, okay, well, we understand, whatever. And then, so I called my mom. I told my mom, like, look, this is what I'm doing. Well, first I told my sister. I told my sister everything first. I was like, I need you to be there when I go tell them that I'm leaving. When I go tell my parents that I'm leaving, my sister was like, I got your back. Don't even trip. I told my oldest bro, too. My oldest bro, like, I got your back. Don't even trip. And I was like, cool. When I told my parents, I was like, look, I want to come spend the night at your guys' house. And they're like, yeah, it's fine. Come spend the night, whatever. But they didn't expect me to come with my fucking maletas and shit, with my suitcases full of my stuff. And they're like, oh, what's going on? And then my sister was in the living room with me, and my oldest brother got there. And what transpired after this, I think it had a little bit to do with my brother being a little bit faded, but I'm not sure. We're in there and I sat down. I'm like, and it was so tough for me to tell them because I know that my parents are gonna fucking shit on my idea. I know they're gonna tell me it's a bad idea, that I shouldn't go. Why do I want to go? Why do I want to waste my life? Why do I want to do this? Why do I want to do that? Like they were just gonna shut my shit down and they were gonna make me feel like a dumbass and they were not gonna want me to go and then they were gonna guilt me into probably staying. But in my head, I had backup and I wasn't gonna do that. So I told him, I was like, look, I got the invitation from my homie. I'm going to St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm already packed. I'm leaving tomorrow. My tickets are already paid for. My suitcases are packed. I just wanted to spend the night here with you guys because I want to say goodbye in the right way this time. Not like last time when I ran away from home and I went to TJ. And they're like, oh, who you going with? I was like, with the same guy I went to TJ with. And they're like, oh, my God, Rob, are you fucking serious? And this and that. And you're just going to go fuck up. And you're not even going to last over there. And this and that. I'm like, dude. And they fucking let me have it. Bam, 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 bam. They let me have it. And I'm just like, fuck. And then what I love what happened next. And like, it's kind of sucks. But my oldest brother stood up for me. And he's like, you know what? Like, I'm tired of you guys always being negative when somebody wants to do something. And then I was just like, oh, fuck. I was like, oh, shit. Here we go. And he's like, I'm tired of you guys always being negative when somebody wants to do something around here. He's like, look, me and his sister have his back. We want him to do good because he's going to do good. He's trying his best. And my parents like, nah, you don't even know him. He said, you don't even know him. That was a fucking tweaker por vida. Like, he's going to go there. He's going to get fucked up. And they're like, nah, well, you got to give him a chance to fail. Okay, what kind of man is he going to be if he doesn't have the room to fail and this and that? And then before I knew it, my fucking dad and my brother were like this close to each other, like fucking spitting. They could smell each other's bigotes and shit. And I was like, oh, fuck, they're going to get down. Like, and I remember just like, I'm a crybaby. I cry when shit, I cry when shit happens. I remember just breaking down crying. And I remember trying to say something. And my sister was like, hey, you, be quiet. This is happening because of you. And I was like, what? I was like, oh shit. I remember just hugging my big bro. I was like, hey fool, like it's cool, dog. Thanks, dog. Like I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'm crying and crying because I hate to see my family fighting. Honestly, I hate to see them fighting. I don't want them to be fighting. And I'm just, hey fool, like it's cool, don't trip. He's like, man, I'm fucking done with this. I can't believe this. Like you guys don't support Robert. And I was like, yeah. And my brother took off, bam. And I just sat there in the living room and I was just like, fuck. Like really, this big old fucking pancho is happening because I want to do something with my life. I want to change my life. I want to change my scenery. I want to see what else is out there for me. And like my family wants to hold me back. Like, well, my parents want to hold me back. Like, that's not cool. And I remember just being there and just sitting there in silence. And then tension started coming down. It was just me and my parents. My mom was not a fan of me going at all because she knew where I was going to and who I was going with, that it was gonna be all fucked up. It was gonna be all about it. Then the next day came, we went. They told me, yeah, go to bed, bro. We'll talk about it tomorrow, whatever. And then next day came, my sister was gonna take me to the airport. And next day came, I got ready. I went to go sit in the living room. I went to go have breakfast with my mom. We had some coffee, um, some waffles. My mom was pissed. She did not want to talk to me at all. She was barely saying anything. She was being all in the whole night. I get it. And then she went to go get ready for work. And then went to go sitting in the living room with my dad. And then we just started talking like man to man. You know what I'm saying? Like we didn't start talking like son to father. Like we just started talking man to man. And he's like, look, Rob, like you need to realize that we know we're doing it. We're saying all this shit because we kind of know that history repeats itself with you guys. Like we know my dad's favorite line was like, yo conozco a mi gente, I know my people. And he's like, this history repeats itself. And we're just, in other words, he wanted to say that he was scared of me fucking up again. Like I understood. And we started chopping it up. And then before you knew it, we were just fucking laughing and having a good time. And then my mom's like, hey, what's going on? Why are you guys laughing? And they're like, nah, we're good. And then when my mom's, honestly, I don't remember my mom even saying goodbye to me before she left for work, or I don't know if I left before her, or she left before me, but I remember shaking my dad's hand and telling him like, hey, I'm not coming back, dog. Like straight up, I was like, I didn't say dog, but I was like, hey, I'm not coming back anymore. And he's like, okay. And then I bounced, and my sister picked me up right there at the top of the hill. And we were just chopping it up the whole way to the airport. She dropped me off. I remember I don't know if I gave her a hug or a handshake like we always do. And then I looked for my airline, Frontier Airlines to St. Paul, Minnesota. Let's get it. And I remember checking in. And when I started checking in, I was like, oh, fuck. This shit is real. This shit is really real. I'll continue the story tomorrow.